what you will do before this section, you just go to the people, some of the reader, and say that this is what I have proven. So now these people will come back to you and raise some questions. So this will give you an idea to limit your study. So what you are, in simple words, what you are going to say, that I know there can be several limitations of the study, but in my view, where I particularly made conduct this study, so this comes under several parameters. So this was defined earlier in the scope of the study, but after the results when it come, so I had to mention those limitations of the study and based on my understanding. So when I will read all these things, you can understand it more precisely. The researcher attempted to expand the understanding of factors that influence trust and intention of online shoppers who purchase products in Malaysia. Although the attempt was worthwhile, it is not without its limitations. Okay, people might ask about the worth of the study. So you can say that okay, this is worthwhile, but it has following limitations also. So this will reduce the effect of some of the questions of the readers on your study. First, the online store's reputation was not taken into account for this study, as in most cases the consumer's trust largely depend on an online store's reputation. Okay, people might ask, why don't you talk about one particular online website also? So you can say that okay, my results are basically general and I have limited. So in the future research I can limit in by taking some particular websites reputation. For example, a good number of Malaysian shoppers might feel confident buying online through lazada.com, while these shoppers might feel less confident buying online from unknown website. Okay, and second, third, fourth, fifth, finally. Okay, now one statement. These limitations do not minimize the significance of the results or findings of the study. The above points are mentioned in order to identify future directions for research and aid further development of this line of inquiry. Okay, now one thing is, for example, when you're going to a viva and the examiner, they might ask you some of the questions, and by replying those questions, there is a point that can be added to your model, but for some reason you didn't add that particular time. So in answer to this question, you can say that okay, I will consider your suggestions and I will put this into the limitations. So I agree that these are the limitations that can or what I can say, this can limit my study, so I will put into the limitation section and I will discuss it in my later studies. So recommendation for further studies, these are usually based on the limitations. So by seeing the limitations, you can say okay, some others, what you think of your own self, because we're not always perfect, so it's something or because there is some sort of a gap whatever we always find in ourselves. So and what people talk to us, so based on this you can give suggestions to the others to conduct further study. So just like for example, you're making when you have made one model, you can say that you can one of the further study could be that to apply this model uh, into the context of another country, for example India. So it is possible. So for future studies, you can. Okay, then for example here, if you can read this statement, it is possible that demographic and psychographic variables have some influence on consumers' purchase intention, while when buying online on internet. Therefore, the future studies should also incorporate an additional factor such as age, income, gender, and education into the model. Specifically, it would be useful to test